Yo, what's going on out there, YouTube family? Look, some craziness happened today, and I got to talk about it briefly. As you can tell from looking at this slate right here, these are all the big films that were slated for 2021 in due process between 2021 and 2022, depending on how things were going to progress with the pandemic and everything that's happening in between productions. But a lot of these films are either already done or have been waiting in back catalog, and we were trying to figure out what was going to actually ultimately happen. Now, we finally got one of the craziest movie world announcements that's probably happened this entire time. We've seen different inklings of it with what Disney was trying to do with Mulan. We saw when the tide changed with Wonder Woman 84, where now that's going to be coming out a little bit early for overseas, like on the 17th of December or something to that nature. But then on the 25th, coming out in theaters, and same as that time on HBO Max. Now, officially confirmed, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this trailer because I think that'll tell you everything you need to know. Let's go ahead and watch that right now. Here we go.
In the next year, Warner Brothers Pictures is bringing you the biggest premieres.
So this is the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
And streaming exclusively on HBO Max.
Dune.
The exact
craziness, y'all. Straight up craziness. Wonder Woman 84, Dune. In the Heights. I can't wait for that. Suicide Squad. Iffy with that. Judas and Black Inside. That's going to get Oscar buzz. That's a prequel to Sopranos, Space Jam.
Theaters and streaming on HBO Max beginning December 25th.
Like, that is huge news. And just so some of you guys probably didn't even catch some of these other films that kind of were like just going through, but I'm going to pause on some of them just so you can kind of see. So Godzilla versus Kong. The Many Saints of Newark, like I said, that was one as the prequel to Sopranos. Conjuring film, Malignant, I'm not sure what that one is. Those Who Wish for Me Dead, not sure about that one. King Richard, Space Jam, super hyped about that. I think the one that is not the Renaissance, but I think the Little Things. That's Rami Malek and I believe Denzel Washington, and you got Mortal Kombat. They just threw all that in there, and I think that the Matrix 4 was, there it is right there. So this is huge, but I need to show you guys the official Progressive announcement really quick. Here it is right here. All right, now I'll just kind of read off a little bit of it just so you can kind of get more of a nudge with it. And this came from Jason Keller. He's one of the heads for Warner Media. We have big news to share. As many of you know, Wonder Woman 1984 is going to be released worldwide in theaters later this month in the United States. We also are making the movie available at HBO Max, no extra cost, in the same exact day. It's also going to be in 4K, which is crazy. We are now announcing today that in the United States, the entire anticipated 17th film, 2021, Warner Brothers motion picture slate is going to be released throughout the coming year in theaters and on HBO Max on the same exact day. That's what Warner Brothers motion picture just about once every 3 weeks said in another way when you release all these different films. I'm not going to read back through because I already did that. In theaters around the world in 2021. In the United States, we also be releasing them the same day on HBO Max. And that was that little teaser thing that y'all saw. One thing that I wanted to also note is the bottom really quick. I'm going to read through it as fast as I can. We're excited for all the year ahead, which begins to release the Wonder Woman 1984 in a few weeks, less than 22 days from now. But who's counting? 17. Yes, 17 huge motion pictures are planned to be both in theaters and in HBO Max. And this is the other thing I wanted to bring up. In subject of HBO Max, there are so many amazing HBO original series and Max originals I'm excited about. This is Jason talking, I'm assuming, to Medium. Tiger Woods' HBO documentary arriving in January is incredible. And this little thing called Zack Snyder's Justice League coming in a few months as well. Meaning that Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be coming out in Q1 of 2021. Like, we ain't got much time. It might be before summertime. So that's huge. That's huge news. They just kind of dropped on us. Oh, and the return of Succession, a highly anticipated Friends reunion. We also have great crime drama coming called No Sudden Move from Oscar Emmy director Steve McDorb. I can't pronounce that last name. And Mayor Easton's starring Kate Winslet, plus the new Gossip Girl, which I think is going to make many fans go crazy. And okay, stop there. But I have only scratched the surface in terms of new releases HBO Max has in store. All right. So now, after saying all that sounds cool, right? But what does this ultimately really mean in terms of the progression of the theater and progression of your excitement for these films? I personally, in my opinion, think it was a lesser of two evils. A lot of people want to see Dune. A lot of people were excited to see Wonder Woman 1984. A lot of people are anticipating Mortal Kombat. Dune, The Little Things, even some of those other slated films, like Space Jam, for instance. These films were going to make money, but they weren't like award worthy, or they weren't like grandiose. I think Dune may be one of the ones, but the most one that was pocketed was Wonder Woman 1984 and anticipation for Suicide Squad. At this point, they're saying basically, you know what, we're going to forfeit what the box office revenue that we could have gotten to make sure you guys are still getting entertained. You still want to see movies and hope for a promised tomorrow in the long term. Now, for me, from a budgeting standpoint, from a critical standpoint, I think that they need to make sure that they market these things internationally very well, and be very concise about when they're going to do it. With a lot of these slated films, some of these, though, aren't going to make that much money internationally. And they really are taking a blunt hit on this on a lot of different levels. But from the consumer side of me and from the fan side of me, this is amazing news. That means that you guys are going to be able to see on Christmas Wonder Woman 1984. You guys are going to be able to see not only Suicide Squad in the theaters if things look a little bit better in 2021, but if it doesn't, you're still going to be able to be entertained and still be able to get an amazing film, hopefully. But on the tide side of that, much like, you know, what they're doing with Zack Snyder's Justice League, like Suicide Squad is going to have its own show with John Cena. The Batman is going to have its own show with some kind of Gotham show. So there's so many realms of possibilities with this, but just know a big part of this is to promote and push people to go and get content from HBO Max. They are putting that as a primary. They are making that front and center for you guys to know we are worthy of your subscription. And honestly, for them to not do any charge with this is right. It's true. Like, there's no way to look around it. Like, this is a amazing deal. This is unprecedented in a lot of different ways. And just looking at this in and of itself, I'm excited. There's plenty of you guys that, like me, love musicals. I can't wait for Lin-Manuel's In the Heights. I've been waiting actually a year and a half or maybe 2 years for that. There's plenty of you guys that are Godzilla fans, Godzilla versus Kong. You're going to be able to have the opportunity, if things are safe, to watch in the theaters. But if it's not, then you'll be able to see it at home with your family and safe and sound if you already have a subscription. Like, honestly, from a consumer standpoint, like, we're winning. Like, from a consumer standpoint, like, they really are sticking their neck out to make this be a win for us. Now, I will say this. A film like Judas and the Black Messiah, I think that one, they have to be very careful with that one, because that is a Oscar contender. And if they aren't releasing it this year, then they're going to have to postpone it till next year in award season category. And I don't know if they've promoted it for screening ahead of the November turnaround. So either way, I mean, they have some films here that could do some real good work and good damage technically. But either way, for me, I'm curious what you guys think. I wanted to kind of bring you guys my thought process and just bringing it to your awareness. I'm pretty sure you guys already knew. Do you think the David Ayer Suicide Squad will be announced on Sunday at Comic-Con CCXP, or maybe a trailer in front of Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max on Christmas? What I do think, thanks Bat City stuff for that comment. I think that Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to get a official trailer by the either one with Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max, or it could be this weekend. I just don't think it's going to be this weekend, just because normally Zack kind of hypes us up for stuff, but it could be a surprise drop. Now, David Ayer's Suicide Squad. I think that at this point, they want to push content. Initially, I didn't agree with Grace Randolph's perspective when it came to Zack and David Ayer's cut, because David Ayer's cut would have led some interesting places with the Justice League. But she's had enough conversations with Zack and interviewed him twice now at this point, that I think that David's film will be announced next year. I just don't think it's going to be announced this year. In 2020, it could. I'm all for it, but I do think it will eventually see the light of day. I really do, personally, just because they are not that they're jonesing for content, but they are looking for source material, things that people are excited about, and they're pushing it to the envelope, in my personal opinion. This is a big decision news. It is. It is very big, bro. Did you see CCXP live reaction in what? Bro, did you see CC? I don't know what you're trying to say. December 6th. So I signed up for it. I signed up for CCXP, so I will be covering that this weekend. So yeah, whatever happens, no matter what, me and Lucas will be covering that. So don't worry. The Matrix 4, I'm excited that there's another Matrix coming out, but I don't have any ties one way or another. I really just need to see what it's going to be at this point. Insane news. I love it. But will they go back to strictly theatrical in 2022? It's hard to take back something offered to consumers, no extra cost. What I think is going to happen is this. Thank you for the question, Sanon. Is that Sanon or Simon? I think that the big films, the big tentpole films that make a good amount of money, that have to be seen, like something like Avatar, for instance, even though it's not Warner Brothers, that is not something that I think, if that came out 2022 or 2023, that it would be in both. I think that would have to make a run in theatrical for at least a month or some change, or at least maybe 1 or 2 months. Then after 2 months, they're gonna just put it on digital. I really do think that's gonna be moving forward. Now, the smaller films, the films that not a lot of people would even go see anyway, or that have any relevance, but to a certain demographic of fans, I think that more of those films are gonna be like this, where it's gonna be available in theaters or a drive-through at the very least, and then it's going to be straight on HBO Max. Now, to me, I would probably charge at least like $5 or something like that to try to make something back for it. But I don't know. Maybe what you could do, and this is, I hopefully don't steal my idea. They do give me something back for it. Is if, say, you have a 4K TV, or by that time 3D starts to kick off again, and like those films, you can watch them on the streaming service naturally, but with you wanted to see them in 4K or 3D, and that's an upcharge of like $5, there you go. You make some money. Like straight up. Like I think that is a good compromise. So that people can see the film they want to, but they really want to see it. There's an upcharge. Just like what we got for a lot of streaming services, like Netflix, like to see stuff in 4K HD, it's a higher cost margin for those. So I think that would be a really good alternative. Or even, charge a little bit more, like $2 extra for what HBO Max is to get everything in 4K. I don't know. But I think that there is room for this to be a continued process without it being something that's going to compromise, people's comfortability right now. Because a lot of people are like, yo, this is amazing. Like, I've been waiting all my life for this. Some people on the other side of this worry that our theatrical experience is going to change forever. Technically, it already has. Technically, it probably will. But overseas in certain pockets of places, where the pandemic is not that bad, they're doing pretty good. They're still having their theatrical experience. I think theaters are going to still be in existence because technology always evolves. It always processes, and whatever James Cameron is working on now is going to change and revolutionize what the theatrical experience is going to be, regardless. So I think that they're what they're doing with this, I think it was a smart move. It's a rough cut. Will it cost them money ultimately in the long end? I think it will. But I think what it does, it preserves people's resonance and excitement for something coming. And I think that hope is what people need right now. Versus this, they say they, hypothetically speaking, didn't announce this. It's like March 2021. Things haven't changed from what they are right now, or maybe escalated. You're not going to be thinking about Dune. You're not going to be thinking about Wonder Woman 1984. You're not going to be thinking about the Batman. You're going to be thinking like, man, shoot, it's done. It ain't never going to come out, And I'm always about positivity and pushing. So I think that that's one big thing in my personal opinion. Sorry about that. I wasn't even sitting there going on a rant. Do you think Zack Snyder's Justice League would come out on Ultra UHD Blu-ray in a big box set containing Man of Steel? Eventually. I think that by the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022, whenever Zack has opportunity of maybe getting like a small little theatrical run for a weekend, like by the end of the year, they're definitely going to have up with the trilogy. Like that's money. That's instant money. Like they always do that. Like think about how many amazing pockets of films or series that they've come out with multiple different Blu-ray sets. So yeah, there definitely is going to be a Snyder trilogy cut. Especially when you think about like M. Night Shyamalan. Nobody ever thought that he was going to get like a trilogy box set, regardless of what you feel about Glass or Split or Unbreakable. He got that. So I think it's definitely going to happen. I mean, do you want to watch CCXP live streaming for us and watch together on YouTube? I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. I mean, I'll definitely be watching it and I'm be covering it with you guys. I'll probably have my headphones on. If something happens, I might start streaming then. But I don't know if I can do that. Can't wait to see the releases come to HBO Max. Glad they aren't charging anymore. Yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of people are really excited about this. And I think that that's the important thing. They're sacrificing. It's a two-hand fold. Again, like I said, this drives content to HBO Max, what they are trying to push by any means necessary. Don't get that twisted. But the other side of that is for people that have felt stagnant, people that haven't, even in their minds, whether if like, say, Dune came out, right, December 25th, like there's some people that wouldn't try to go to the theaters right now. Or some people are in a situation like they might be in California, they can't. So yeah, this to me motivates, excites, and gets people wanting to see films again. I think that's one of the most important things of preservation to me. Dune is next big thing in cinema, and it being free for existing HBO members is hard wrap around my head. Thank you. AT&T. Wow. Yeah. So it's hard because with Dune, there's a demographic of people that are very excited for it. Like I said, a lot of these films it's a certain demographic of people. Not that it's a niche, niche for certain people. I think that people are hype about it just because of the actors, but there's only a certain group of people that actually watch. Think about it like Blade Runner. Was it 20? Man, I can't remember the number now because all I can think about is Cyberpunk 2077. But the last Blade Runner that came out in the theaters, that movie did not. It had all the hype. It had an amazing cast. One of the best movies that year. Nobody went and saw it because it was a niche group of people that wanted to see it, unfortunately. Random thought, Warner Brothers should do a live action Scooby-Doo meets Batman standalone special starring Ben Affleck version. No. I'm sorry, I can't get behind that one. I mean, nah, I can't get behind that one. That's too far to me. Yeah. Simon, Disney Plus has a big investor call December 10th. Do you think it follows suit? They probably are looking at this and like, better y'all, we ain't doing it. But the other side of that coin is they have been bleeding money all of 2020. Bad. From, the losses, from the lack of productions to lack of original content for Disney Plus. But Disney owns everything. They own ESPN. They own so many different networks. They own a lot. And do I think that Black Widow is a film that they're going to probably put on Disney Plus kind of like this? Like it's a dual kind of thing? Personally, I think that they easily could and should. But I don't know that they will because they don't technically have to. They literally are sitting on a whole pocket of content and this just theirs. And if I was them personally, I would be like, well, we're announcing The Defenders or Marvel Knights. It's coming soon, yada, yada, yada. Or we have just casted this person for Nova. You know what I'm saying? Like, all they have to do is just draw attention to themselves and continue to coast into 2021 because there's not any preconceived notions about what content they're going to have. And all the other stuff that they've been trying to push, just like what Warner Brothers was doing with HBO Max, they've also been equally doing with their Marvel slated shows that are on the same level of production as their films. As you can tell with The Mandalorian, as you can tell what they're pushing with The Mandalorian, with the other characters, they're equally trying to do the same thing with their Marvel characters. And you're going to see it in WandaVision. So I think that this is a good idea, but I don't know. I really don't know. I know that Soul is out, and Soul was amazing. Soul, honestly, Pixar Soul should be in the theaters right now. I can't talk about it in my review. I guess I'm going to release it in a week and a half. I've already pre-recorded it. I wish I could tell you guys, but oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. So it might, but I don't know that it will because they don't have to. They technically don't have to. Good question though. Is HBO Max better than cinema? They're symbiotic. They work hand in hand. Like HBO Max, it gives you the ability to be able to see the shows that you really want to see. Which is important, which is very beneficial in the long run. But unless you have a 4K or surround sound or a big screen TV, you're not getting the same immersive experience that you normally would have. But again, you could invest in a projector, you could invest in a big screen TV and have that at home, especially with your family. If you have a family, like that's saving you money being able to use HBO Max for these things. But cinema is always something that is an immersive experience that is very vital and important. I don't think it means that HBO Max is better than cinema. I can't say that. It has the capacity of being able to complement cinema and add to it, but not a replacement just yet. Dante Chandler. I'm back. What's good, dude? I'm excited about everything HBO Max is doing right now. Same, bro. Same. Another random thought. HBO Max should do a Christmas special to promote Snyder Cut. Live action, dark adaptation of Christmas with the Joker. It's too it's too late for them to try to do something like that. It's too late for them to do something like that. They would have had to work on that like months ahead of time. I'm all with it. Like I love that. Like, but it's a little too late for that at this point from a production standpoint. And they still closing down a lot of productions because of COVID, because of the pandemic. It's crazy to think if Marvel drops a teaser to Eternals, all this HBO Max hype dies down. Technically, yeah. It's true. Like, all they really have to do, and if I was them, I would say, no, make a teaser, right? Just make a teaser. And all of a sudden, you have, like, randomly the Defenders up there, then randomly, like, the Cloak and Dagger, or randomly, then all of a sudden, you see Blade up there, and it just says Marvel Knights. That's all they got to say. And you're like, wait, is that going to be on Disney Plus? Is that going to be in the films? And then it kind of branches off and said these will have their own complimentary films and dedicated shows. In addition to Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really all they got to do. And that's not me gassing up Disney, but I'm not... I'm not without understanding of what power they have over people's perception of their content. Do I feel like what Warner Brothers has the capacity of doing with this is a greater capacity? They do. But it is miles and leagues easier for what Disney has to do. Just the facts, unfortunately. What about Spider-Man 3 trailer? If Black Widow comes out this year or on streaming, I think it'll be connected with Spider-Man trailer for sure. I think that they should put a teaser out by the end of the year, but I don't know that they will. Maybe with WandaVision. That'd be a really good segue because from my understanding, WandaVision is going to coincide with not just the Doctor Strange film, but now that Doctor Strange is in Spider-Man 3, it'll coincide with that too. So who knows? All Marvel has to do is promote Deadpool 3. Have Ryan Reynolds make a homemade footage style commercial. True. Honestly, I was hoping low-key that Zach was gonna bring like Ryan Reynolds in with his Snyder Cut. But that is what it is. Do you think the cinema probably would be dead if HBO Max, if HBO Max be successful, drop more movies like this on stream? So again, the only way and the reason why they're able to do this is they don't want to break contract with the theaters. They're still releasing these films in theaters on the same exact day. The only thing is what they can do with each of these films is leave their run be like, a month, and then take it out and then just keep it on HBO Max. And it's good. But they don't want to break those contracts with the theaters because that does generate them revenue. And it doesn't alienate people one way or another. Because some people... when Mulan was going to be going to Disney Plus, a lot of people were like, well, can we watch it like in drive-through? And they didn't have that opportunity to do that. And then with the cost of Mulan, they were like, why are we paying extra for it? So what they're trying to do, they're trying not to alienate their distributors. They're trying not to alienate us. And they're trying to recoup as much money as they can. But they really did put themselves in a sacrificial lamb situation to me. But reportedly this month will be, it could be, like I said, when WandaVision comes out this When does WandaVision come out? Oh, let me fact check that really quick. Hold up. WandaVision. Why y'all got me talking about WandaVision? Let's be talking about whatchamacallit? WandaVision. WandaVision. Here we go. WandaVision is coming out December. Yep, it comes out this December. So anyway, all right, Vega boy, take care. I can only imagine an amazing market Warner Brothers would be doing if the next Mad Max movies and spinoffs, especially with HBO Max. Yo, that would be a great thing to tap into if they had a movie going, which they already going to be having a prequel series going in the theaters. But imagine if they brought Charlize Theron in for her own series, like a mini series. That'd be dope. But yeah, so for me, just in closing, I think this is really great news. I'm hyped. With all these films are not what's the word, are not guaranteed big money makers except for maybe Dune, 1984, and initially I would have said Suicide Squad. But all these films, personally, except for The Conjuring and Malignant, I don't know what that is, I'm interested in. So I'm happy. Like, as a consumer, you guys should be happy as well. And it's gonna be a dope time. Really, Simon? It got pushed to January? I didn't think so. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Please, everybody that's watching this or does watch this later, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure when you hit that bell button, you go and change the notifications to all, so you guys know as soon as I drop any new content. Crap. I could stay up and look at The Mandalorian right now. I need to go to bed. All right, you guys. Y'all stay blessed. Make sure you stay safe. Take care, guys. I'm out. I'm going to leave this here so you guys can see. Same. I hope it stays. I hope to.